Let's jump right in. Today's explainer is all about nature's absolute ultimate survivor. And honestly, it has a lot to teach us about modern life. We're talking about the beetle. We're going to pull out 5 totally actionable life lessons from this incredibly resilient little insect so you can actually start using these principles right away. 300 million. Yep, 300 million years. That's literally how long beetles have been crawling and flying around on Earth. I mean, they've survived absolutely every single mass extinction our planet has thrown at them. And you know what the secret is? They didn't pull it off by being the biggest or the fastest. They did it by mastering a few really specific traits that we're going to dive into today. Okay, so Section 1, Rethinking Strength and Armor. This covers Lessons 1 and 2, and it all starts with the sheer, honestly mind-boggling carrying capacity of these guys. So, a beetle can carry 100 times its own weight. Just think about that for a second. That's like you carrying a couple of pickup trucks. But, the beetle doesn't sit around complaining about the heavy load. Nope. It simply braces its legs, finds its center of gravity, and just moves forward. And that's because strength isn't actually about size. It's about distribution. When you think about it in your own life, true strength really isn't about having this absolute maximum power. It's way more about how effectively you distribute your burdens, How you brace yourself against the weight of your own challenges. Moving on to their built-in armor. So beetles evolved this really cool thing called elytra. These are those hard, protective shell wings you always see on their backs. But their main job, it's to perfectly shield the super delicate, really soft flying wings that are folded up safely underneath. And honestly, this just brilliantly illustrates our second lesson, which is all about how to navigate a tough or even toxic environment. You've got to protect your vulnerable center. Like, stay soft where it matters, but make sure you present a resilient, hard exterior to the world. You definitely don't have to be hardened all the way to your core, just enough to protect the part of you that lets you fly. Right, so Section 2, Finding Value in Decay. This is Lesson 3, and we're looking at exactly how beetles process their environment. When most creatures look at dead wood and dung, they just see disgusting garbage. It's pure waste to them. But beetles? They look at that and see a nutrient-rich opportunity. They break it all down, and the outcome is this incredibly rich, fertile soil. They literally thrive where others just rot. It just goes to show that in nature, there really is no such thing as garbage. And the lesson for us here, look for the opportunity in the mess. Find the value in the exact stuff that everyone else discards. Okay, Section 3, the power of disappearing, bringing us to lesson number 4. Get this, when threatened, a lot of beetles don't even bother striking a fighting stance. Instead, they literally just go limp, drop right to the ground, and play dead. And almost immediately, predators just kind of lose interest and wander off. The takeaway here is actually incredibly freeing. You really don't have to win every single battle. Sometimes, strategically disappearing, just dropping the rope or walking away, is so much smarter than fighting a battle that has absolutely no upside. Which brings us to Section 4, the secret to longevity. This is our 5th and final lesson, and it loops right back to that massive 300 million year milestone we talked about earlier. Like, how did they actually survive all those mass extinctions? Well, think about the ferocious for a second. Creatures that are super strong and incredibly fast, like the dinosaurs, right? When the environment shifts dramatically, they ultimately just go extinct. But then, you have the flexible, like our little beetle. They are highly adaptable, able to survive literal global catastrophes, and they end up thriving for hundreds of millions of years. They didn't survive by being the strongest. They survived by being the most adaptable. It just proves that true longevity always belongs to the flexible, not the ferocious. So, as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a single, pretty powerful question to chew on. Instead of constantly fighting the heavy load or, always trying to be the most ferocious person in the room, where in your life do you need to strategically drop the armor, simply adapt, and survive? Really think about it. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.